COVID case spikes and soft closures mean home learning. The high school Chad Corbett's daughter attends in Layton recently made the switch.
Northridge is still under quarantine and the cases actually keep going up.
He described how just over a week ago, the school emailed him a letter right before the closure with some concerning news. His daughter came into close contact with a confirmed COVID-19 case. Even more worrisome.
The letter indicated that she should have been quarantining since the previous Tuesday.
The letter, dated November 3rd, tells his daughter to start quarantine October 27th, a full week earlier. It left Chad wondering why it took so long to find out.
The contact tracing is not effective at all if it takes over 7 days to get a letter. Those 7 days you could be transmitting.
I was really upset.
A teacher in the Davis School District who didn't want to be publicly identified to protect her job told me the same thing happened to her.
On Friday, November 6th, the COVID aide came and told me, okay, I just heard from the health department, you guys probably should have been quarantining.
That you should have been doing for how many days before that?
We would have been exposed on the 27th of October, so it was nearly 2 full weeks.
We do things as quickly as possible, but this is a very complex process that we follow to do the contact tracing, and we want to do it right.
Jeff Haney with the Canyon School District explains immediately after the health department notifies them of the positive case, the school launches an investigation to identify every possible close contact.
Of course, there's a lot of students, and they go outside and play at recess. Sometimes they sit with different people at lunch, but that's why the contact tracing process has been such a challenge.
While Jeff says they get those notification letters out as quickly as possible, the date of the quarantine will almost always be days beforehand.
You would factor in from the last date of exposure.
Here's why. Start with the day the person called out sick and got tested. From there, the Salt Lake County Health Department says,
in some cases, it can be 3 to 5 days before we get results.
Nicholas Rupp with the Salt Lake County Health Department says their goal is to identify and notify schools, workplaces, and close contacts within 24 to 48 hours of the result.
I know that you were positive for coronavirus, and so I just have a few questions to ask you, if that's okay.
But with thousands of calls to make, he indicated that timeline just isn't possible for every single case.
We're all working at full capacity, and as cases increase, there is concern that we're going to have burnout.
They recently switched to a shared model of contact tracing to cut down on delays and stress on the system.
As of right now, what I can tell you of all the employees that have been in close contact, that they would need to be put on quarantine.
Still, when all is said and done, the entire test and tracing process takes days. It could soon change, though. Rupp said a rapid 15-minute test will have a big impact.
That initial laboratory delay is likely going to go away. So I think it's going to improve as our technology options grow.
Haney says Canyon's hired another nurse.
Our nurses have been working nonstop, and we needed that extra set of hands to help us through this.
Chad's daughter ended up leaving quarantine after a day and a half upon testing negative. He doesn't want others to find out as late as they did.
I get where a lot of the issues are coming from, but for it to be effective, it needs to be fast enough to actually prevent any further occurrences.
With school now online, at least he knows she won't be getting another exposure letter anytime soon. Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.